And I guess, like, for the podcast purposes, you could break supplements out into, like, workout specific supplements and, like, general well-being, healthy life type
Yeah.
supplements.
Yeah, we can talk about both.
Yeah. So I think we'll get around to this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it now. I think creatine is the big one for working out. But like daily nutrition, nutrient wise, what are y'all doing? Multivitamin, vitamin D.
I have a long list, kind of. I do creatine. We'll talk about creatine a little bit because I used to take 5 grams a day. So, I took, I was taking anything that says it has a cognitive benefit. I'm like, I'm sold. I
Exactly.
wouldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a lot of studies that came out. I read that there's a lot of cognitive benefits along with other benefits for taking creatine.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking like 5 grams a day. I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing that for, I don't know, like 5 months, 6 months,
I've been doing it for
maybe longer.
years, man.
Have you?
Yeah, like 10 years,
It's
5 grams
been a
of
year.
creatine.
Every day?
I mean, on days that I'm not working out, I won't take it.
Oh, I
Like
take it every day.
I know you're supposed to take it every
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
but I've also heard that you're supposed or people say they recommend you cycle off of it for like a couple weeks, but I've also heard that that's not super necessary.
Yeah. I haven't, I've read that, but then I've also read
Yeah,
the
that you can
opposite.
just kind of
You
stay
should
on it.
take it every day.
Yeah. Well, and real quick, what is creatine? Like let's break it down real quick because creatine is
Meat.
naturally found in
Yeah.
like
Meat.
meat, red meat.
Yeah.
So if you're eating beef, if you're eating proteins, you're generally getting creatine already.
Hmm.
So that's it's not some like crazy, compound.
Hmm.
It's like it's a supplement.
It's
So
not steroids.
right, and that's why I think you can take it every day
Hmm.
because it's like, can you eat a steak every day? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. You'd be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. And now I upped my dose to 10 grams a day
Nice.
because
How
I've
long you
been
been doing that?
like a week. Just did it.
Have you noticed any changes, good or bad?
I don't. It's hard to say in my head if I feel sharper or better memory. Like
Mm-hmm.
it said there's like memory benefits
Yeah.
when you're in the 10 gram range. I
Right.
also saw. Do you follow Found My Fitness on
I
Instagram?
don't think so.
So she like cites all these studies. It's really useful. And she had this guy on her podcast that talked about 10 grams a day, or he takes a baseline of 10 grams a day because that's when you start seeing a lot of cognitive benefits.
Interesting.
And then on days that he's like jet lagged and stuff, he ups it to like 20 grams a day
That's insane.
to like recover or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. But then 20 grams scares me because I'm like, you gotta drink a lot of water. You make sure you drink a lot of water.
Yeah, and I'm get in here, John. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
this mic because he's talking about. So I've always done creatine 5 grams a day. He said he's going up to 10 grams a day for the past week or so. And then people are saying like if you're jet lagged or you need a cognitive benefit, you up it to like 20 grams a day. And
Mhm.
you were just talking to me the other day about you've heard something crazy like somebody was taking 50 grams or what? Like I'm just curious, what did you hear?
I've just kind of heard the same things. I don't know about the 50 grams, but higher and higher doses is what they've been talking about. But the one that you mentioned, like the 20 grams, I did see that that was good for if you've had a bad night's sleep,
Exactly.
and it
Do you
helps you.
follow Found My Fitness on Instagram?
I
She
don't.
cites a lot of studies and she did a podcast with a guy telling him and
Yeah.
he's the one that said like when he's like jet lagged or like you said sleep
Mhm.
deprivation, he'll like up it to like 20 grams to like kind of get back to his baseline as if he had slept.
I think all these podcasters kind of talk about the same studies,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do know who the Found My Fitness
Yeah.
lady is. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the fact that they've gone from the 5 grams to the kind of a standard 10 grams.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm taking 10 grams as of like a week ago.
Hmm.
I don't know if I've seen a difference yet or not, or if it takes longer, but I'm afraid to go more than that because I'm like, I'm afraid my kidneys can't, I don't know. I'm a little worried about going more than that. So,
Yeah, I
and
would.
I drink a lot of water, but sometimes I'm afraid I don't drink enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be a little worried with the stomach
Yeah.
uh, being able to tolerate it
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Yeah.
But there's there's all kinds of benefits that they're talking about now.
Hmm.
So not just like brain function, but there's always the old getting more volume in the muscles, getting more um, endurance as far as explosive movements go.
Hmm.
But it just seems like there's new stuff coming out all the time about the benefits of creatine.
Hmm.
I'm actually not on it.
Hmm.
I've just been kind of reading up on it and considering it.
Do you think you're gonna start taking it?
I think I will.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of when I'm dealing with supplements, I only allow myself to change one thing at a time
Mm.
because I want to see what that one thing does without confusing. Like if I take three new supplements at one time, I don't know which one's doing what.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
so creatine's next on the list.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
yeah,
I was telling Anthony, anything that has a cognitive benefit, sign me up. Like I'll
yeah,
if as soon as it says cognitive, that's why I started taking creatine because I saw
yeah,
a study came out about the cognitive benefits, and I was
yep.
like, sign me up. I'm good to go.
Well, and energy levels in
Yeah,
general.
yeah,
Energy levels in
yeah.
general. I like.
Energy and cognitive.
Yeah,
I'll be
fine. Yeah,
sold, whatever it is.
that's right.
I also take vitamin D.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was a study, that same lady. She cited the study that was like the higher your vitamin D levels, the less severity of symptoms you experience. So it's like directly correlated to the severity of symptoms you experience when you do get sick. It doesn't
Mm,
prevent you from getting sick. And she said that the study was like everybody living in like South America or something, like they got much less sick, I guess, compared to like people up north or in North America. And it's because they like their vitamin D levels are higher because they're in the sun all the time.
makes sense.
So, I'm taking like during the summer, I'll lower it because I'm in the sun a little bit, to like 7,000 IU's,
Mm-hmm.
and I get blood work done too to make sure. I've already gotten blood work done, so now I'll stick with this dose. But 7,000 IU's gets me like, I think the max is supposed to be 100 or something. Like my PCP told me over 100 you could have like calcium buildup or something like that.
Makes sense.
I feel like the verdict could still be out on that. I have no idea, but just to be safe, I keep it under 100, but I keep it as close to 100 as I can. So during the wintertime, I up it to 10,000 IU's, and that usually gets me like around 90, a little bit above 90, and then backing it down to 7,000 IU's in the summer gets me similar levels. So like I try to keep it minimum above 80, 80, 85.
Hmm.
And I feel like, I mean, I've had COVID like freaking 4 times now, but the first 2 times, Sarah was not taking it, I was taking it. We both got it. She was, like, in the bed for, like, literally, I think 48 hours at least, and probably she didn't recover, it took her 3 or 4 days to recover. She got hit bad.
Hmm.
I got the same bug, and I know it could be body dependent, but I got the same bug, and I was, like, working, and I was like, "I'm starting to feel kinda weird, like, fatigue maybe," and then like, it kept coming on, I was like, "Okay, I do feel weird." So then I went downstairs and, like, laid on the couch for an hour, and then I felt fine. I was done.
Hmm.
Like, and during that time, I was taking vitamin D, she was not. I swear that I think that helped, but it could be body dependent too, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
So,
I think that's legitimate.
Because I have vitamin D in like a daily multivitamin. Yeah, but I don't think that's up to par with what you're taking at least. The so quick backstory, like in 2020 and 2021, I tell John this all the time. I was getting sick like 5, 6 times a year. Super. So A, it stinks because you're sick and you're miserable. But B, it stinks because every time you get sick, you're missing a week or two from working out and you get out of your routine and you just can't make progress. I have a friend that's very much into like holistic stuff. People might think he's one of these like woo woo type of guys where he'll eat some type of like this dude will go days with just eating dates. Just eating dates. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you ever heard that before, but um and he was like he turned me on to this. It's called sea moss and bladderwrack supplement. It's
uh, wouldn't eating dates every day make you, like, poop a lot or something? Is that what's
I don't know,
like,
I
doesn't,
haven't
like,
asked him those questions.
plum juice or something?
Yeah.
Isn't that isn't that what it does?
Yeah.
So is he, like, just
I wonder if it's like a detox thing
pooping
or
every
like
day all
I don't
day?
know, but that's the type of guy he is. Like he's done in all his diet and stuff is very like I wouldn't do 99, 95, 99% of it, but long story short, the CMOS and Bladderwrack actually worked as a supplement. Like the way it was described to me, if the body needs, X amount of vitamins and minerals a day. I don't know if that number's 56 or 100 or something, but sea moss takes care of like 37 of those, and then Bladderwrack takes care of, another 17 or 20.
What is
So
Bladderwrack?
yeah, see, so I mean, the Irish sea moss is obviously like a sea moss, a seaweed type thing. Bladderwrack is another. I couldn't tell you exactly, but a herb or or shrub or some sort of.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
bladder booster from GNC.
yeah. It does kind of sound like some anabolic
Yeah.
bladder booster. Yeah, but and now I preach this stuff. Like I told my wife I got her taking it. But yeah, it was night and day difference when I started taking that stuff.
Mm.
Now I get sick like maybe once a year,
Mm.
and if I do get sick, I can bounce back pretty quick. And
I was telling John about the vitamin D. There was a study that's directly correlated to the severity of symptoms you experience.
mm-hmm,
And there was a study done that was like it was essentially North America versus South America, I think. And like people in South America obviously get a lot more sun than people in North America, and they experience like much less severity when they do get sick.
mm-hmm,
And you may have heard me, but I was telling him when I got COVID, Sarah and I both got COVID. Sarah was not taking it, I was taking it. Um, and like I was down for like an hour,
yeah,
maybe like felt really weak and fatigued on the couch, and then I was good by
yeah,
the time I was going to bed. But Sarah was down for like 3 days.
yeah.
So I'm a huge believer in vitamin D.
And that's interesting because like when the first COVID outbreak happened, and like one of the first things that doctors were finding were effective were just loading people up with vitamin
Yeah.
D. And John probably knows better than I do, but like didn't we watch that podcast of the guy that talks about how vitamin D helps your like killer T cells attack whatever is going on in the body?
Yeah.
Isn't that, am I making something up?
Yeah. No, yeah, that sounds right. The one that gets me is all these old, you see the old black and white photos of the hospitals
Yeah.
way back, and they will have the patients laying in beds up on the roof in the sun.
Oh,
Or
interesting.
they would have these little places outside that were the solariums where
Mhm.
people would sit out in the sun. The doctors were prescribing sunlight
Mhm.
until we kind of demonized the sun.
Yeah.
But vitamin D, I think they've always known it's really good for us. Got to have
And
it.
you're doing how much?
In the summer I do 10,000 IUs, or sorry, 7,000 IUs, and I did this all based on blood work. So I got my blood tested both summer and winter. So this is what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. Is like 7,000 IUs in the winter. Sorry, I keep going back. 7,000 IUs in the summer, like now, because I don't need as much because I'm in the sun, and then I up it to 10,000 IUs in the wintertime because I'm like hardly ever in the sun.
Question. What exactly is an IU?
It's an international unit.
Oh,
I mean,
all
I
right.
just know the words, but
John coming in clutch.
it's still very vague. It's an international unit.
Oh,
What that equates to?
No, I don't. The only thing I do know that I thought was interesting was 7,000 or 10,000 IU might sound like a lot,
mm,
but they were saying if you go out in the sun and you get some sun, your body will produce like between 20 and 30,000 IU.
mm,
So again, it's not really that much.
yeah,
It's just kind of keeping those levels.
yeah.
I'll hand the mic back to you in a second, but I think we should go one by one and just do like a quick rundown of daily supplement routine. So John, what's your daily supplement routine inclusive of everything if we haven't already done this?
I don't take that many supplements. The only thing I can really say right offhand is protein powder. I do protein powder in my smoothies. The only other thing that would be supplement like is I'm doing detox stuff right now, which is like different herbs at different stages. So uh,
Kind of protein you do, and then what's in like a detox?
I do beef protein powder. I
Oh,
just
that
can't.
protein you showed me.
Yes, I just can't
I'm gonna try
tolerate
that.
whey. Whey's kind of just rough on my stomach, but
Mm,
the beef protein powder, I've never had any problems with it.
mm,
Um, and again, that's probably the same reason I'm doing the detox stuff is just to try to make myself less sensitive and less reactive,
mm-hmm,
to allergies and food intolerances.
mm-hmm,
Um, but yeah, with the detox stuff, it's just different herbs at different stages. Like right now, I just started over. So usually when you're starting one, you do the liver first, then kidney, then parasite, then heavy metal. That's kind of the order that you go in. And each one has its own little set of herbs
Mm,
Like liver, it's like lemon peel and ginger and that sort of stuff. But it's really easy. You just add it to like your smoothie or whatever,
mhm,
and you do it for like 14 days or 30 days each stage.
mhm,
Um, yeah, those are the only supplements I'm doing right now. Uh, yeah, I guess you'd consider mushroom coffee kind of a supplement because it still has coffee in it, but it also has all these adaptogenic mushrooms in it, like lion's mane and turkey tail and these different things. And those are supposed to help you with inflammation, um, having a better kind of more stable mood
mhm,
versus the coffee ups and downs and crashes and so
mhm,
forth. But yeah, I guess yeah. So those would be my supplements: is beef
mhm.
protein, detox stuff, and mushroom coffee.
Mushroom coffee.
That's about it for me.
Well, my routine is I have now 10 grams of creatine with my coffee in the morning.
Mm.
Um, actually, I'll tell the funny story in a second. So, 10 grams of creatine with coffee. And then at night is when I take all my vitamins. I take the vitamin D, I take fish oil, pretty high dose of fish oil. They're like extra strength. And then I take magnesium glycinate or it's magnesium complex, I forget. Um, I take a multivitamin just as a catch-all in case I missed anything
At night.
at night. All these are at night.
Is there a rhyme or reason for that?
Yes. So the funny story is Sarah and I were taking magnesium. We're taking all these vitamins in the morning,
Mhm.
and like for some reason at like lunchtime, we're like about to fall asleep, both of us. We're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm so sleepy. And her PA friend was like, what are you taking? And she's like, oh, I'm taking this magnesium. She's like, magnesium makes you drowsy. Like you should
Mm.
take that at night.
Interesting, interesting.
And then I swear to you, ever since I've been taking, I feel like my quality of sleep has gone way up since I've been. Now I take
Okay.
it. I take that magnesium solely for sleep benefit,
Interesting.
and I get drowsy after like an hour.
Yeah.
I start getting drowsy, and I feel like I have great sleep.
So maybe people need that's a good idea, like, you have a morning supplement routine, and then your nightly supplement
Yeah,
routine should probably
yeah.
include
Every time
magnesium.
somebody tells me they have issues like sleeping or quality sleep, I'm like, take magnesium.
Try
Try
magnesium.
magnesium.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And you do, magnesium at night with what else?
All of them at night.
Oh, okay.
Magnesium, vitamin, multivitamin, fish oil, vitamin D.
Mhm.
Uh, Also currently taking fiber because I don't think I'm
Yeah.
getting enough fiber.
I
Yeah.
wonder if that, like, helps, like, so when the body's sleeping, the body's recovering and building itself back up. I wonder if that's helpful to have those building blocks, like the supplements
Mhm.
taken right before you sleep so that while the body's s sleeping and recovering, it has, like, stuff to work with.
Could be. I just take it for convenience.
Yeah.
Like I do once a month, I do Sarah and I's 4 weeks worth of vitamins, and then I just throw like all 20 of them in my mouth and take them all at night.
At the same in the same
Yeah.
gulp?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta do, like, one at a time. I don't wanna choke on the stuff.
See it go
Yeah, oh my goodness. And, like, how much water do you drink? So you drink, like, creatine with your coffee in the morning. Doesn't that dehydrate you, or are you staying on top of your
So what I have done is after my getting a hair in my mouth or something. After I take my coffee, creatine, I have a element packet, like
Mhm.
salt hydration. I do that before I work out.
It's almost like a liquid IV?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
A lot more salt in it, so I retain a little bit more water. Um, and then when I'm working out, I sweat a lot, and I probably drink about half a gallon during my workout, and then I try to drink another half a gallon throughout the rest of the day. Like
Mhm.
try to get in a gallon at least a
Right.
day, but it
Yeah.
doesn't always work out that way.
And I hear the rule of thumb, like, you should be shooting for 2 liters of water a day.
If you ask Tom Brady, I forget. I tried Tom Brady's, and I'm like, it's a lot of
You're,
water.
like, drowning in water.
Yeah, I'm like peeing all the time. I'm like, this
Nice.
is inconvenient, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I try to drink a lot of water. I drink probably more than an average person, I would
Good.
say.
Yeah, I would say I don't drink as much water. I used to drink a lot. It used to be the only thing I would drink, and I'm be a lot. But then I got kind of scared that I was flushing out too many minerals. But if you're doing that element stuff, you don't have to worry about that. Interesting thing on the magnesium though is that is our soils being depleted. That's one of the big things that has really been depleted is magnesium. So that's one of the ones I have been looking at because I do have a little bit of sleep issues. Um, and I think you and I even talked about that. But that's on my list of things to try as well. But that's one that we can't seem to get from food. Like you can have a perfect diet, you're still not getting enough magnesium because it's just not in the soil. So I thought that was kind of
Vitamin D and magnesium are the ones that I've been
yeah.
thinking about too, because those are both like just for general health and like deflecting or propping up your body's immune system to naturally be able to fight things better. Those are like the two things that I keep hearing pop up.
What people, I think, what I learned, I'm sure a lot of people forgot or didn't know, is that vitamin D is a hormone. So it's not like
Yeah.
it's pretty important. Like it's a lot of benefits to regulating your hormone, and
Is that true for guys and girls?
yeah, vitamin D is a hormone. Yeah, for as far as I know, for both.
So it's not like just like super testosterone or estrogenic.
I don't
It's like
think.
good for the endocrine system.
I think it. Yeah, it's just. I don't know what kind of hormone it is, but I do know it's a hormone. That's all I know.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's pretty important. If I had to recommend, like, if you're looking at supplements, I preach magnesium for the sleep, and then vitamin D and fish oil. I'd say those are like your, to me, your foundational. You should be taking all of those. I try to get I get them all on Amazon, um, and I tried to find like the most pure because I don't want to take like I don't go to Walmart for fish oil. I'm afraid like yeah, like I'm a little paranoid about that. So and the ones I found, I think it's called Sports Research or Sports Lab.
Mm.
Um, and I get the fish oil from there, and it has like all these certifications. I forget, and then the vitamin D, it's also on Amazon, and magnesium just for convenience. They're all on like a subscription for me.
Nice. I was gonna say another positive about creatine is it like consciously or subconsciously forces me to drink more water because creatine will kind of dehydrate you because what is creatine doing? It's just storing more water in the muscle. So like I feel guilty in the back of my head like if I'm not drinking water. So it's been like an excuse for me to or it's been like a driver to drink more water. And I only do 5 grams a day. I know you said you're doing 10. I've just stuck with the 5 grams a day because that's what I was told, helps inflate the muscles a little bit.
Well, like I said, I just learned about the cognitive benefits with 10, and I was like, sign me up. Let me
Mhm.
try that out and see if I see it.
And you're not feeling, like, bloated or anything? 'Cause I think,
Not that I know of.
yeah, one of the more common side effects people will talk about is, like, if especially when you first start taking creatine, like,
Mhm.
loading up too much of it, and then you start feeling, like, bloated or sluggish or
I don't think I feel that. I feel fine, but I've only been doing it for like 5 days, maybe.
Mhm,
But I will say when I get like bad dehydrated, especially if I overexert myself, like if I sit in the sauna for like at 200 degrees, 220, and I'm in there, I'm really pushing it like 25 minutes, 30
mhm,
minutes. I'll get a gnarly headache. Like any and when I was young, it used to be like that. I used to get migraines when I was young.
mm,
Like I would go through basketball practice, not drinking any water,
mhm,
super dehydrated, and by the time I get home, I'm like have a gnarly migraine. Like I used to
mhm.
get bad migraines. So I'm kind of paranoid about drinking water because of that when I was a kid. So like, and then I read all the benefits of drinking a lot of water. So then I'm
Yeah.
just start drinking a lot of water. So
Yeah, I got my wife on creatine, um,
she jacked up now.
yeah. She was jacked before, but now she's and then I'm trying to get my mom on creatine.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because creatine still has a little bit of a negative stigma to it. There was the stereotype when I was growing up where you would tell your mom I'm taking creatine and she thinks like you're on steroids and stuff. It's not that, but still, like when I went to the doctor to get blood work done, one level that pops up is creatinine or creatinine. I forget how you pronounce it, but if you're on a creatine supplement, your creatinine levels will show as higher. So they were like, your creatinine levels are higher. You might need to get your kidneys tested or something like that. So I went down the whole rabbit hole. I detoxed from creatine for like months and went back and got retested. But in the meantime, when you look it up online, and again, don't take anything we say as gospel. We're not doctors or anything. We're just dudes that care about our health, and we try to do research to the best of our abilities. But it's pretty easy to find online. People are saying like, yeah, duh, if you're taking creatine, your creatinine levels are going to show as higher. Just like if you're supplementing for vitamin D or magnesium and you go take a blood test, you're probably going to show higher levels of that
Mhm.
supplement. Um, yeah, and one quick pro tip I'll say about creatine, I think the people that need to be supplementing creatine the most are like vegans and vegetarians. Because if you eat meat, you're naturally going to get some creatine in your diet. But I think if you're vegan, vegetarian, try supplementing that. You might see the best results or the most dramatic
Mhm.
difference.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, don't do anything we said and consult your doctor.
Yeah, so in summation, um, I have an autoimmune disease. I think there's a lot of people out there with autoimmune diseases. Like if you don't have an autoimmune disease, you probably have somebody in your family that does or know somebody that does. Um, so far, I'm not on any. I think they call them like a biologic, like the injections, like the once every two biweekly injections that basically, suppress your immune system so your body doesn't attack itself, but your immune system is totally compromised after that. So, like, I, who knows? Maybe I'll have to get on one of those someday. But so far, I've been able to not, just because I think my supplementation routine is pretty on point. So I think it's worth sharing that because, I know everybody's dealing with something like that. And it's just a good idea to overall reduce inflammation. I think like probably naturally,
Mhm.
even if you don't have a autoimmune disease, we're all probably a little more inflamed than we should be, especially with all this like processed food and all crazy stuff that we're eating
Mhm.
nowadays. Um, so, like my morning supplementation routine, I'll do one of those sea moss and Bladderwrack capsules. I think they recommend you do four, but I kind of do everything in like super moderation and just cover all bases. Um, because I also don't want to like get my immune system overactive. So CMOS and Bladderwrack, check into that stuff yourself. It's from a company called Alkaline Herb Shop. But do a quick Google search, see what people are saying about CMOS, see people are saying about Bladderwrack. Like, don't just take my word for it. Um, I was originally taking my supplements with like orange juice. That was my go-to forever, but I think it's a little too acidic, like first thing in the morning.
Mhm.
So it was upsetting my stomach a little bit. I started taking this stuff with like a carrot juice that has turmeric in it. And I think turmeric is overall very good anti-inflammatory. And carrot juice is very basic. It's not acidic at all, so it's not gonna like do anything to your stomach first thing. Um,
I just learned this, but do you know it's turmeric?
I did not. I just learned something.
Yeah. Tur.
Turmeric.
Turmeric.
Interesting.
I always call it turmeric too.
Yeah, yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I didn't make that up. Like, I'm not the first person to call
No,
it
it's very
turmeric
common.
or
Yeah.
turmeric.
Well, it's spelled turmeric, so
Oh,
I'm
really?
assuming that's how you say it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I had it pulled up right here. That leads me to my next thing. Turmeric. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other supplement beyond the sea moss and Bladderwrack that I would absolutely recommend checking out, especially if you have like an autoimmune disease or just looking to kind of keep inflammation down. The company's called Anessa. It's called Anessa BioSoothe. So when I got diagnosed with this, I started researching all those different supplements and vitamins, minerals that might be able to help. And you can get like a dozen different vitamins or minerals, or I was kind of looking for any supplements that like had a handful of those in the same thing that I could buy. So Anessa BioSoothe was the thing that I landed on. Um, and it has like a lot actually I was just looking it up and a lot of the stuff that we already talked about. So it has vitamin D in it.
Mm.
It has zinc in it. Zinc is also another just great like blanket
Mhm.
mineral for, to your immune system to reduce sickness,
Mhm.
all that good stuff. Um, this will have bromelain in it. Bromelaine's one that comes up a lot. Reserva, reserver.
Rosuvastatin? Just kidding.
What is
Yeah,
what is
that one.
that?
That's a
What
statin actually I'm on.
oh my god, resveratrol. That's another one that comes up. In ginger extract along with like some
I
other
actually
things.
meant to say resveratrol. That's what I. It's
Resveratrol.
from like wine, right?
Yeah.
too, a little bit. Resveratrol.
Resveratrol.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
turmeric and resveratrol.
yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned those things because that's a lot. A lot of those things, the ginger, the turmeric, that's in the liver detox that I just started,
Mm,
and it reminded me. You know how we were talking about how like I would eat whatever and I wouldn't gain weight. I don't think that's a plus. I think that's a minus. I think that's the body not digesting things. And one thing that's kind of odd that has happened since I've been doing the mushroom coffee and the detoxes, which are supposed to essentially fix up your plumbing, I've gained 10 pounds without changing a single diet, without eating more calories or
mm.
anything. I think I'm just absorbing more stuff. So
I thought you've
the
been looking a little jacked lately.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a big 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
But in general, I'm thinner, but not from lack of trying. Like I'll eat and I'll, add extra rice and all this stuff and I just can't gain weight. But all of a sudden, when I started these things, the weight just started coming on. It's to the point now where I'm like, okay, now I'm getting a little softer on the middle. But anyway, just so if you're trying to gain weight in the gym, you might want to make sure that your plumbing's working right before you start putting all these supplements in there.
Mm,
And that might be a good way to get there.
mm. Good point.
That's good news to me that I'm might already have been hitting those things and didn't even realize that I'm taking it for a different thing. Yeah, yeah. And then so same principles as the CMOS and Bladderwrack, like it tells you to take 4, I only take 1 capsule. The Anessa BioSoothe that tells you to take 2 capsules a day, I only take 1 capsule. So just a lower dose of kind of all this stuff. Um and yeah, I mean, proof is in the pudding. Knock on wood, knock on everything. So far, I've been good, no regressions or anything like that. And then just to cap it off, like you said, you kind of just do a daily multivitamin too, right? Just to
Just
fill
like
in
a
all the gaps.
catch-all. Mhm,
Yep, catch all, same deal. Daily
mhm,
multivitamin to fill in whatever else I'm missing.
mhm.
But I feel like that I got that pretty dialed in. Um, yeah, check it out.
So, John,
Mm.
outside of health benefits, what other benefits would you say fitness and health in general help you out with?
Just learning how to be consistent
Mhm,
with things, just sticking with it. Not expecting everything to be immediate, what is it? Instant gratification.
mhm,
Things take a while.
mhm,
And being consistent with your efforts is usually what will get you where you want to go.
mhm.
Um, That's the biggest thing, I guess.
Yeah, I am inherently, probably because my dad didn't make me like do a lot of stuff when I was younger. Inherently, I'm lazy, pretty lazy. My like my ideal day off is like literally not doing anything all
Mm,
day on the couch, like watching TV. Um, but like when there's something I want or something I want to do, I'm like super
mm,
driven and disciplined to get it done. But the lazy part, I think fitness has helped with that. Is like I've gotten so much into like a routine now where wouldn't say I enjoy working out. Sometimes I do, I guess. Some days I have good days. But it's like when you get up to go to work, you don't want to go to work, but you get up and do it anyway. Like
mm,
your mind's telling you I don't want to do this, but your body's still going through the motions and getting ready
mm,
and like the working out's the same thing. Like I don't even think about it now. I'm like, I just have to go. It's just something I have to do. Like and I make sure that like I prioritize that first. Like I have no matter what's I'll say no to like golf if I want to go. Somebody invites me out to golf. If I haven't lifted, I'm like, no, I gotta lift. I gotta go to the
Mhm.
gym first. Like I have to get that done. Then my day feels free, you know.
mm,
Um, but also doing it first thing in the morning is like it's hard and it sucks, but I'm like I feel good. It's like my first battle I've won, and
mm,
then in the day in the morning. So it sets the day off like pretty well. And then I
yeah,
also feel like low key, like I feel like it's a superpower. The way you feel like when engines are all firing and you're working out, you're supplementing things that make you feel better. You're eating really healthy food. Like it feels legitimately like I feel like euphoric some days. I feel like really euphoric. Like I'm just like in such a good mood and like I'm ready to like take on the world and run for president or something.
mm,
Uh, but I just feel like it's like a superpower everybody should be using because it's readily available. You know?
Get a gym in your home. Feel like that every day. Yeah. Um, there's something you said that I wanted to touch on. Oh, this is an interesting kind of point. I'm just freestyling here, but like when I really got into gym life, weightlifting, and like made that commitment, it, uh, it definitely limits you. It limits your life kind of in a good way. Like, there's a lot of plans that you either won't have to go to, or maybe you'll show up late, or because you're making time for the gym. Or like your friends want to hang out and go drinking. I gotta make sure I handle my stuff at the gym. And like, just averages over time. You have somebody, maybe every Friday, one of your friends goes out drinking, and every Friday you're hitting your arm workout or whatever it is. So what's that going to look like over a year, over 2 years of him going down that road? And it's just a small choice, like one little day, but it does limit your life. There's less freedom, less time to do all these things. That's kind of like a good thing
Keeps
in
you
a
out of
sense.
trouble.
Yeah, it'll keep you out of trouble and keep you on like the right track.
Yeah.
Um
The straight and narrow, as they would say.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 And I think so this is also what's good about like the video game generation is a lot of video games are very grindy. Like, to reach level 100 or the max level, like you're gonna have to sink some time into it, and you're gonna have to be consistent and spend an hour or two or three or more a day doing that exact same thing. Like
Mhm.
when I was growing up, and probably to this day, RuneScape. If you know, you know. Do you ever play RuneScape? You ever play RuneScape? Missing out, man. It's but it's super grindy game. Like if you want to max out your account on RuneScape, you got to sink like 2,500 hours into it. Which I've been playing this game since I was like 9 or 10. So
Mm.
that's over time, yeah. But like gym is the same as RuneScape to me, because in RuneScape, one of the stats you can max out is your strength levels. You can get 99 is the max in any stat. Um, and again, it's going to take a long grind to get there. But so same with the gym. It's like, and gym is physical, so it's a physical manifestation of your progress. It's not like art, painting, making music, where it's subjective and you could spend 10 years doing something and then show somebody a song or show somebody a painting and they're like, this stinks. I don't like it. But like the gym is physical. You see the results, you can see the progress. It doesn't happen fast. But like, if you're in high school and you're a string bean, or you're super fat, and then your 10-year high school reunion, you're, looking swole,
Mm,
jack shredded, nobody can deny you. Like
mhm.
it is what it is.
I don't think the gym limits you, like you said earlier.
Mhm.
I mean, like, if you're super committed, if you're just committed to like just working out, like, I don't think that limits you. But if you're committed to like bodybuilding, or you're training for something, like, then it limits you. You're like, okay, well, I can't go out, and because I know people who work out and then get trashed in the weekends, like just
Mhm.
drunk. I know people get who get drunk during the week, work out, but then in the morning they run 10 miles.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so I don't think it limits you
Yeah.
unless you're like chasing after something. Like me, I started working out because I was like super skinny, which that's probably a good question, is why did you start working out to
Mhm.
begin with? Is I started working out because I was super skinny. Like, I looked like an actual alien with the big head and the tiny body.
Heck yeah.
And I hated when a girl would tell me like, "Oh, you can't lift that. You're not strong enough to lift that."
Mhm.
I'd be like, "I have to get my
One
blood
day,
to
one
boil."
day,
No, I could lift it
easy.
though. I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd lift it. And then I just started working. I was like, I want to look bigger, and then that's why I started working out. So now I have this like complex of like, I don't want to look small or skinny ever. So like my whole life I've been trying to gain weight, basically. Not probably not as committed to it. Um, but now within the last 2 months I've been trying to cut weight, which is a mind
Mhm.
mess with me because I'm so used to, like, don't wanna get
You're
skinny, eat a
fighting
lot
to
of
keep that
food.
weight on. You're fighting to put that weight
I'm
on.
like when I see the scale go down, it, like, messes with my head, even though I know it's, like, fat leaving my body because I'm still my protein's up and everything's up, but I'm like I'm paranoid when I see the weight when the scale goes down. I'm like, "Oh, I'm getting smaller, I'm getting
Mhm.
smaller," and that just messes with my head a little bit.
Yeah. I would agree for the most part. I think it's just like plans, and it's different for us because like you work out first thing in the morning. So like after you get your workout out of the way, you're pretty much wide open
Mhm,
the rest of the day. Whereas I'm working out in the evenings.
mhm.
So especially when you're younger, college, 20s, people are trying to go out, people are trying to do this
In
plan, that
college, I would
plan.
work out in the evening, and
Yeah.
then I'd probably not good. I'd work out, take pre-workout, take C4 or
Yeah.
Jack 3D,
That's crazy.
and then work out, and then I would maybe have a few alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
So
Grow the
probably
blood flow
not the
crazy.
best combo for keeping your water intake up.
Likewise.
So yeah, but yeah, I did work out in the evening during that time too, though. That's
Mhm.
what everybody worked out.
And it's overall just a positive thing of, like, goal setting, not seeing immediate results, working every single day or
Mhm.
5 days a week or whatever it may be for this one common goal. And I think that's why it's important whether you're like, it's not a narcissistic thing to take progress pictures.
Mhm.
Like, if you're just starting out, take snap a couple pictures to see where you're at,
Mhm.
because body dysmorphia is a real thing, and you could be working
I'm
out for
sure I have
years.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could be jacked, and to 99% of humanity, you look incredible, but
Mhm.
you're comparing yourself to the 1% of the 1%,
Mhm.
and so it's important to just a quick little tangent, it's important to have those types of progress pictures so you can see like, "Hey, dummy, like, look at how far you've come."
Mhm. I'd probably for sure have body dysmorphia because I'm like, I always compare mentally. I mean, get, I don't get upset comparing myself. I just a logical thing. I just compare the way I look to somebody else. Like, oh, he's got bigger arms than I do, or I have bigger
Mhm.
shoulders. But I always feel like I'm small, no
Mm,
matter what, no matter how big something gets. Like, I don't. Everybody always says I have big calves, and I'm like, okay, well, I can see like they're big, I guess, compared to the average person. But to me, I'm like, I don't know. I see bodybuilders with calves that's my size. I'm
mhm.
like, they're not big,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like my biceps need to get bigger. They're not
Mhm.
that very big. I'm trying to get my legs bigger, so that's why I'm wearing shorter shorts
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna be self conscious about it until I make them bigger. So
Mhm.
it'll make me work on them.
Interesting psychology
I think
there.
they've gotten a little bigger now too.
Yeah.
So
Interesting psychology.
yeah.
Dude, like, who are you hanging out with to feel small? Like who are the people around you, man?
It's probably not people around me. I mean, when I was in college, a lot of my friends were like actual bodybuilders.
Yeah. Like, you're hanging
Like
around with a
trying to
bunch of
compete.
IFBB pros and,
No,
like,
hell, not quite that far, but there were some big dudes. And I don't need to be 300 pounds. I don't really want to be that big, but I would like to be like a yoked 200, 215.
mhm,
Like
and you're sitting at what now? Like,
I'm not at a yoked weight, and my weight right now is probably like 190
okay.
ish.
Yeah.
So like yoked at my weight currently is probably like, I hate to even say it, feels embarrassing, but like 175,
Like, if you were
180.
to cut and get, like,
Yeah.
super shredded?
Yeah. What I'm
Yeah.
trying to do.
Mhm.
But I would like to be like a yoked like 200 pounds
That
at
was
least.
pretty insane.
I want to be able to, no matter what I put on, you're like, oh, that dude's pretty big.
Right.
And I'm not at that stage yet.
Yeah, that, like, not a lot of people are. You gotta get
True. Yeah.
yeah. But also you can tell, like, I'm not a super huge dude, but you can like, people would probably see me from an outside perspective and be like, "Yeah, he plays sports. He does something. You know,
Hmm.
he does something."
Hmm.
And also, like, I put things into perspective, like, have you gone to, like, a water park recently?
Not recently.
Like, just go to a water park and survey the land and, like, do some people
I don't know what
watching.
the ones you're going to, but the ones I've gone to are in Tennessee, and
Yeah,
I am an IFBB pro there.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, like,
No
um,
disrespect, I'm from Tennessee. I'm just saying it
it is
is
what
what
it
it
is.
is. So,
It is what it is, man.
yeah.
So same deal. Yeah, I took the wife to a water park last year and like I'm looking around at like I wanted to do the meme of like find somebody that looked jacked and be like, "Do you even lift?" You know,
Yeah.
and it's just two lifters broing out and I couldn't find anybody. Like I saw one older dude who was obviously, on at least test and
Mhm.
probably a whole bunch of other things.
Mm.
He looked crazy and then there was like maybe one or two people that other people that looked like they were at the gym, but this is a water park in the summer. So,
Yeah.
yeah, like legit probably 99% of people there
Yeah.
weren't. Um,
My wife and I went to a all-inclusive resort, uh, last year, and I was like, typically, it's those kind of people were there, and I'm
mhm,
like, I feel like probably the biggest dude here.
mhm.
But there was this dude there that's pretty jacked. He's like a yoked like 250
Were you
probably.
Myron?
I kept comparing. I was like, damn, I'm so small. I'm so damn small. I was like,
Yeah,
this dude's huge.
yeah.
And it made me just feel like a skinny little B word.
Mhm. But
Uh,
if he saw you, he's probably looking at you like respect.
I hope
Like,
so. That'd make me
'cause
feel
you're
good.
you're the only person in the same boat as him.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, you could tell I work out for sure,
absolutely.
but you could tell he works out more.
And yeah, and if you stay natural, like for sure people that are natural can build impressive physiques, but like that's the meme for people that are natty is
Mhm,
like when they put a shirt on, it doesn't
mhm.
it's hard to tell,
Yeah,
you know? Okay.
especially with me because I feel like I have small forearms, so I'm like, if my biceps covered up and you just see my forearms, you're like, "Oh, that dude
Mm.
may not lift." I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, feel free. I agree to disagree. I think your forearms are all right.
Alright, well,
Yeah,
thanks. I'm trying to get J-Dub forearms.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably all those like mace bells and clubs and stuff that
yeah,
he's swinging around, just having to
yeah.
hold that stuff. And that's probably like functional forearms. And also, he has a background in martial arts, so I don't know if he was doing any stuff where he's like grabbing people or
Mm,
I know like in jujitsu they have insane
yeah,
hand strength and
yeah,
forearms because of the hand strength. You're always
yeah.
grabbing somebody.
I just gotta start training. I was training him for a little bit, but then I'm pretty sure I sprained my wrist
Mm.
like 2 months ago, so it still kinda hurts, so I haven't done forearms since, but
Mm-hmm.
I have been trying to, I need to train him,
Mm-hmm.
so that's all it is. I need to train him,
Yeah.
and I
I
don't.
never do any forearm training. I feel like, I mean, I don't have huge forearms by any means, but just like pull ups,
Mm,
anything like pull ups, deadlifts, or RDLs, and then usual bicep and tricep stuff where that's coming in. That's a secondary muscle.
another thing I don't work out is my lower back.
Interesting. So you're not doing any deadlifts, RDLs, anything like
No,
that.
I
Hyper
need to. I
extension.
really need to start doing some RDLs and hyperextensions. I just don't, man. I only do 4. I mean, if I on my day that I'm doing back, I do back and triceps. I'm only doing 2 back workouts,
Yeah.
and I always do like a row of some sort usually, and then a lat
Mm-hmm.
workout. So I'm like, I just have to trade one of those out for a lower back
Do you do
exercise.
anything for like abs or core?
No,
Okay. So
yeah,
at least you're consistent because I was gonna make the analogy that like your lower back is almost like your abs for
yeah.
the other side.
I'm pretty sure that's why my lower back hurts, or it's not great. It kind of
Mhm.
does hurt. But that's probably because it's weak as hell compared to the rest of my body.
And that's the nice thing about weightlifting in general, and fitness is there's always a next frontier.
Mm,
So like it would probably benefit you to train or throw in one ab exercise and one lower back exercise
mm,
because like that's gonna I'll like the train the trunk of the tree, you know? So
mm,
the trunk, your torso, your core, where you're getting all your power from. Um, look at a tree in the wind. Like a thinner tree is gonna bend with the breeze. If you have a thicker tree, it's just gonna he ain't going nowhere.
mm.
So like if you and if you want to build muscle, you're probably gonna. I know there's a million ways to build muscle, but probably you're gonna have to lift heavy.
I don't. I
You
mean,
do or don't?
I don't. I lift heavy. I guess it's technically would you classify as heavy because I'm not lifting I'm not doing 3 sets of 5,
Mm-hmm.
but I do high reps like 10 to 12. I go to a failure, but I'll do enough weight that I can get at least 4 to 6 reps. Then I'll drop the weight if I need to and finish out the set. So
Yeah.
I do as heavy as I can, I guess, within the 10 to 12 rep range.
Yeah.
So
Somebody would probably look at that and be like, "That's a lot of weight," or "That's
yeah,
heavy."
could be. I
Yeah.
hope so.
And I was going somewhere with that to make a decent point, but
Lifting heavy.
yeah, or just the trunk of the tree and there being like a next frontier or something that you can do. Like what's next? What's next? Because generally, like, okay, to break through a plateau, like everybody in their fitness journey will reach a plateau,
Hmm.
and the answer to break a plateau is the same for everybody. And the answer is you have to do something that you haven't been doing already. Because if you're plateauing, your body's staying the same, it's not changing.
Hmm.
You're going to have to make a change or do something different somewhere if you want your body to then change. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Like, not you, but anybody out there, me, myself included. That's why I do a lot of the hard stuff now because every time I would hit a plateau, it's like, what was the thing I wasn't doing? Oh, I wasn't deadlifting, so
Mhm.
let me start deadlifting, and then that's a pile up a lot of weight on a deadlift, get your lower back,
Mhm.
hamstrings, all that stuff a lot stronger. It's gonna help with everything else.
Mhm.
Same thing can go for like diet. If I'm plateauing, what's the thing I'm not doing? Well, I'm not eating clean. I'm still eating pizza and pancakes and this and that every day.
Bro, speaking of, I just bought yesterday these I was in the protein aisle in the grocery store, and they're made by Quest, and it's like Reese pieces.
Hmm.
Those are fire.
They're good.
They're good. The first taste, when you first bite into them, they're not that good, like as good as Reese pieces. But then once you start chewing them, like the peanut butter and the
You gotta
chocolate
let it
comes out,
marinate a little bit.
then it's like
Yeah,
fire. They're really good.
because Quest will do those protein cookies too, right? That's what I think I've seen.
Yeah, I forget I'm sure they do have a the one I'm thinking of is a high calorie cookie. It's
Mhm.
like 400 calories.
For a cookie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
But I was in the grocery store because we'll talk about this later, but I stumbled up I'm in this low calorie thing, cooking low calorie, high protein,
Mhm.
and I found out there's a way to make low calorie hot dogs.
Okay.
And I'm like excited about I'm gonna make them tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna record it actually.
Is it in the bun? Like
Yeah,
what's the secret?
it's a keto bun. It's like 45 calories, I think, or 60 calories for the bun, and it has like 10 grams of protein. I got this like turkey wieners, turkey dogs,
Mhm.
and they're like 45 calories each, and then like 7 grams of protein. And then I got 2% Mexican cheese, and I got a 0 calorie relish,
Nice.
and the mustard 0 calories. So I can eat like 5 of those things
All
a
in, you're
day.
at like 100,
Yeah.
less than 100 calories per dog.
Per dog, I'd say,
One
yeah,
dog,
about let's call it 120 calories
120 per dog.
per dog.
Per dog right there.
And I'm adding in the Quest protein
This is
chips.
the face of a man that just found out he could eat hot dogs again.
Dude, I'm excited as
Yeah.
hell. I'm like pretty hungry right now, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm about to tear up some hot dogs.
Tonight, it's going down, man.
I'm probably gonna eat 5 of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
at
nice.
least 4.
400, 500 calories.
Yeah,
Cool. And
yeah.
you're doing like what, 23, 2400 a day calories?
I am at like 2550 right now,
Mhm.
so yeah, I try to stick around 2500,
Yeah.
little over a pound a week.
Because I'm really interested in trying some of the stuff John was talking about earlier, about like when he was doing this like mushroom coffee or the detoxes and stuff, and he felt like his stomach started processing nutrients better.
Mm,
Because right now I'm doing like 3,000 calories a day. Probably I weigh 165. I'm getting 160 to 180 grams of protein a day, and I'm 165. So I
mhm.
feel like that doesn't add up. But you got 30 pounds on me, and you're eating less.
What do you mean, what doesn't add up?
Like, the fact that I'm eating that
Well,
many
that
calories.
could be your maintenance dose, your
Mhm,
maintenance calorie. I mean, my maintenance calories is like 3,200 or something like that.
mhm.
And then if I wanna or actually, it's probably closer to 3,000. And then I forget, I did the calculator, but it's like 3,100 is my maintenance, and then, like, 3,700 puts on a pound a week.
Interesting.
I'm excited to get to that.
Where do you go to do all those calculations?
I just Googled I think the first one that came up was, like,
Like a
calculator
calorie.
calculator.net, I think, and then
Okay.
there's a deficit calculator on there.
Mhm.
But I undershot my intensity, based on their definitions, but I'm very high intensity when I'm working out, so I didn't factor that in. So, really, I was, like, shorting myself, like, 300 calories. I was, like, trying to shoot, like, 2,300 instead of 2,600.
Gotcha.
Uh, I was losing, like, over 2 pounds a week, and I was, like, not in a good headspace.
Mhm.
Um, but then I bumped it up to, like, 2550, and now
Feeling better.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I got so many I'm eating such low calorie breakfast well, breakfast too, but breakfast, lunch, and dinner that I got, like, 1,000 calories to play with after
Mhm.
that. I'm like,
You're living good at
I'm
night,
living good at
enjoying
night.
yourself.
I'm eating some sugar for
Nice.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, last night I had a bunch of grapes, but,
That's dope, man. How much weight have you lost so far doing?
uh, I'll tell you right now, actually, I log it. I have an Apple reminder in my phone every week, and every Sunday when I wake up, try to weigh myself at the same time,
Mhm.
and I started at around 192 and a half, 193. The next week I went down to 190.2. The next week I went down to 187.0, and then 185.8, and then somehow jumped up like a half a pound last week. But I also went over my calories, probably why.
So in about a month, you've done like 8-9 pounds,
Yeah,
which seems pretty healthy and pretty normal. Like,
yeah. It's actually kind of extreme. Usually it's like a pound a week you want to
yeah.
lose. So I think it's hard for me to gauge the activity level, but I think I'm probably off. Like I could probably lose a pound a week if I upped my calories to like 2650.
Mm-hmm.
I probably stay at like a pound a week.
Do you count your macros and all that stuff?
No, just
Okay.
calories and protein.
Calories and protein.
Yeah,
Interesting.
keep it simple.
'Cause I don't really do none of that. Like that would be the next frontier for me. Is
I've
like,
never done this. This is a whole new world for me. Like
yeah.
I've never realized until I started counting them how many calories of stuff I eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go to like First Watch. You been there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dang, you been to First Watch?
What's first watch?
It's a Have you been to First Watch? Yeah, it's
Okay.
like there's like 30 locations
Okay.
or more. It's like a breakfast place. They only serve like breakfast
Okay.
slash brunch.
I mean, I might have.
Surely you've been to
I just like let my wife do the driving, and she'll go to
surely
like
you've been
she'll
to
find some lovely little brunch
First Watch.
place.
Well, anyway, what I usually and it's healthy food, like for the
Okay.
most part, but I didn't realize what I eat there. Like I'm eating like 2,200 calories
Dang. And
at
one.
breakfast.
Dang.
So
Yeah.
like, no wonder my belly was getting a
Yeah.
little bigger. And well, I don't eat there all the time, but that's just an example.
And there goes your day right there.
Yeah.
All the yeah.
But the last time I went there, which was like 2 weeks ago, I counted out this like low calorie, high protein. It was like 400 calories or something like that, which is great. And then I was able to eat a big ass pancake.
Nice.
So I was able to fit it all in
Oh
with the
yeah.
butter and everything. And I still was at like maybe 500 calories,
Mm-hmm.
which is normal for a
Nice.
meal, I would say.
Just one big jumbo
Big
pancake
ass,
for
and
yeah.
they're good. Those pancakes are good.
Yeah.
And I requested the sugar-free syrup, so it was lower calorie syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and I got to eat the bread. I might go back there again this
Do you have
week.
like a scale at home? Do you weigh any of your food?
I do,
Interesting.
because I'm following recipes. That's like,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
100 grams of
Gotcha.
this, 200 grams. So yeah, I
Yep.
definitely weigh it. I weighed grapes too last night. I ate a bunch of grapes, and I always weigh those and use the calorie app to see what I'm eating.
Yeah. That's definitely where I lack. Like,
Yeah,
because traditionally, that's kind of what sucked the fun out of it. Like, I don't like getting lost in the numbers and stuff.
it's
Like,
more shit to keep up with that
exactly,
suck.
exactly. Like, I just want to go train my,
If you're maintaining, it's easier.
yeah,
But if you're losing, you gotta track it.
right.
Yeah.
Like, I just know my usual day, because I pretty much eat the same stuff every day, is around 3,000 calories, 160, 180 grams of
Mhm.
protein. But like back to the previous conversation of like there's always a next frontier, there's always what's next.
Mhm.
Like if I want to break the plateau that I'm in now, I'll probably have to dig into the numbers and do the calculations, and
Yeah.
I should probably be at 33, 3,400,
I
at
just wanna get, see what I looked like really ripped, like,
mhm,
everything ripped, and then once I get to being ripped, then I'll try to, I wanna put on weight to get to, 200.
mhm,
So we'll see what that looks like.
and try to stay as ripped as possible throughout that.
Yeah, eat clean, try
Yeah.
to do, a clean bulk, I guess,
Mhm.
but, pretty much just not eating like shit,
Yeah.
which is easy for me to do.
Yeah.
Uh, I had I went off the rails last week. First of all, this happens every time Sarah's gone. When
Mhm.
she's gone, I go off the
You
rails.
start comfort eating.
I start comfort eating.
Oh, you miss your wife, bro.
Well, I mean, I do miss her, but that's not why. It's because she's not there to police me.
Okay.
So I plan the calories. I eat Chinese food, which it's fine once in a while. It's really good.
Mhm.
I was over my calories a little bit. That's not the problem. The problem is I had 6 Rice Krispies,
Okay.
150 calories each.
Yeah.
Then I had an ice cream sandwich.
That's
Problem is,
900 calories in Rice Krispie
yeah,
treats, dog.
yeah. I
Damn.
can't. And Sarah's like, "You have a obsessive compulsive eating disorder or something like that." And I asked Alexa what that meant, and she said, "When you binge eat and you pretty
Like,
much you're
once you start, you can't
yeah."
stop.
And that's I guess I do have that because
Yeah.
that's exactly what happens.
Sure, yeah.
I was like,
Boom.
the Rice Krispies are
Got it.
they're so easy to eat, they're so light, and they taste so good. And I just
Yeah.
keep I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, one more, and I'm like, all right, one more,
Mhm.
all right, one more, and before you know it, I've had 6 Rice Krispies.
Boom. The
Yeah.
whole
So
box.
that's why I didn't. That's why that week I wasn't down a pound.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 1 week I was just for some reason up point 0.8 pounds.
yeah.
That's 1 for every
I don't
Rice
know.
Krispie.
Could have been the 1,000 calories in Rice Krispies I
Yeah, you
had.
never know, man. Yeah, and, one thing I was gonna say is, like, it all depends, so there's all kinds of different fitness journeys. Do you wanna go be a long distance runner? Do you wanna be a sprinter? Do you wanna be a rower? Do you wanna be jacked? Do you wanna be a bodybuilder? Do you wanna be a power lifter? Do you wanna be a strongman? So, like, we all have these different metrics to what we measure ourselves to,
Mhm.
and, like, I'm not super big by any means, but I try to run these, like, wide receiver routes and go out to a field and do sprints,
Mm.
and, like, I'm very I'm fast, like, relatively speaking,
Mhm.
but for the amount of muscle that I do have, like, I'm pretty sluggish. Like, I'll watch videos of myself, and that's why you see a lot of these, like, wide receivers and DBs in the NFL, they're lean and they're
Mhm.
lean. Like, they
Yeah.
don't have much mass going on up
Yeah.
top. It's just all, like, legs and quickness.
Yeah.
So, like, if I wanna get better at running routes and sprints and stuff like that, I will have to trim down to get more efficient. So my
Mhm.
body's like, but there's a balance.
Mm. So
Like
you gonna go in a deficit to get that
I don't think so.
4-3?
No, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'm a 4-3 guy. Period. You know.
You gonna get in deficit to get that 4-6?
I don't know. That might be my ceiling. Right now I'm a 4.86, 4.84, 4.86, something like in like the mid 4.8,
Okay.
which is still fast. Like
Yeah,
for a regular
that's
dude,
fast.
that's fast. Um, Yeah, but I'm the same as you. Like I started out just a string bean. So it's like it's a lot of anxiety to go. Like this
Yeah.
whole journey I've been trying to pack on the weight and go up, up, up.
Mhm.
And now it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, no matter what your journey is, lift some weights.
exactly.
Always lift weights. I don't care
Hmm.
if you're a marathoner, lift weights. Resistance train, I should say.
Hmm.